They tried to take his home, but instead, he took their power. Before we begin this story, take a second to subscribe to the Untold Struggles, the only channel that uncovers real stories of strength, injustice, and redemption. Click the link right now at their Untold Struggles, because what you're about to hear might just restore your faith in karma. The morning sun rose gently over Maplewood Estates, a suburban paradise where perfection had a price. White fences, polished cars, and manicured lawns painted the illusion of peace. But that illusion cracked the day Marcus Reed moved in. He was a 38-year-old small business owner, tall, calm, a man whose silence carried weight. A father, widower, and entrepreneur who had built his landscaping company from the ground up. His new home, a large corner lot with oak trees and an old barn, was more than a property. It was a promise to his daughter, Lena, that their story wasn't over. But from the moment his moving truck arrived, eyes watched. Curtains shifted. Cars slowed. Across the street, Janet Malley, the HOA president, sharpshoot, sharp tone, and sharper opinions, scribbled something on her clipboard. "We have standards here," she muttered. "And I can already tell he's going to test them." At first, it was small things. A letter taped to his door, reminder, lawn height exceeds HOA regulation. Then another, trash bin not aligned properly. Then another, unauthorized work truck parked in driveway. Marcus would smile faintly each time, place the letter in a showbox, and say nothing. He kept his focus on Lena's schoolwork, his business calls, and late nights repairing the old barn into an office. But the letters became tickets. The tickets became fines. And soon, the fines became threats. "Marcus, this can't be right. My grass is cut, the truck's parked legal, and the house ain't even fully occupied yet." HOA clerk, "Sir, those are the rules. You can appeal, but I doubt the board will reverse it." Marcus, "The board? You mean Janet?" The clerk's silence said everything. That night, as Marcus sat on his porch, the streetlight flickered. He looked across the road, saw Janet and two other HOA members talking beside her SUV, pointing at his yard. He knew then, this wasn't about rules. It was about control. If you're feeling this story already, hit subscribe right now so you never miss another true story of resilience and justice. Because this next part, this is where everything changes. Subscribe here, white right pointing backhand index. One rainy morning, Marcus woke to loud knocking. 3 HOA officers stood in front of his porch, Janet behind them with a cold smirk. "Janet, Mr. Reed, due to repeated violations, the association is enforcing lien action. You'll need to vacate until further review." Marcus, "A lien? On what grounds?" Janet, "Failure to comply with community standards. You've been notified multiple times." Marcus, "You mean harassed multiple times?" The officers looked uneasy. Marcus stepped closer, calm but firm. "Marcus, you see that barn? I rebuilt that with my own hands. Every screw, every plank. My wife wanted this home for our daughter. You think I'm walking away because you don't like the color of my truck?" Janet blinked, her authority shaken. But the lien still went through. His accounts were frozen, and his property was listed as under dispute. Marcus was angry, but not broken. He called his lawyer. Then he called a friend, Eric, an investigative journalist. "Eric, bro, I've seen this before. Some HOAs overreach, especially when they think someone won't fight back." Marcus, "Then let's give them a fight they'll never forget." Weeks passed. Marcus gathered every letter, every fine, every receipt. Eric dug deeper and found something shocking. The HOA had been illegally overcharging residents and redirecting funds into maintenance accounts that didn't exist. "Eric, they've been running a side scheme for years. You're not the only one." Marcus, "Then we bring it to light." Together, they compiled evidence, interviewed neighbors who were afraid to speak, and even caught a board member admitting over the phone that Janet had a personal issue with Marcus moving in. The story broke locally. Homeowner fights back against corrupt HOA. The public outcry grew overnight. Emails flooded the HOA office. Members started resigning quietly. But Janet, furious and cornered, doubled down. She sued Marcus for defamation. Marcus, smiling perfect. "Now I get to tell my story in front of a judge." The courtroom was packed. Janet sat with her lawyer, composed and confident. Marcus sat across, calm, his daughter Lena clutching his hand. Judge, Mr. Reed, you're accused of spreading false claims against the Maplewood Estates HOA. Do you have evidence? Marcus, yes, Your Honor. More than enough. He handed over receipts, audio recordings, and emails showing fraudulent fund transfers. Eric took the stand next, confirming his investigation. Neighbors testified about being pressured into silence. Janet's composure cracked. Judge, Mrs. Malley, did you authorize these fees? Janet, it was a clerical misunderstanding. Judge, a misunderstanding that netted your board over $200,000. The room gasped. Janet's lawyer dropped his pen. Marcus closed his eyes. The fight was finally being seen. When the verdict came down, the judge ruled in Marcus's favor. The HOA was ordered to repay all residents and disband its current board. But the story didn't end there. After court, Janet approached Marcus in the hallway. Her tone was softer, her eyes tired. Janet, you think you've won. But this isn't over. Marcus, it's not about winning. It's about truth. Weeks later, as Marcus rebuilt his front yard, Eric called. Eric, you might want to sit down for this. Turns out Janet was connected to a real estate group that's been targeting homeowners in minority areas, flipping foreclosed properties for profit. Marcus, so this goes deeper than HOA. Eric, much deeper. And your name's already on their next file. Marcus looked up, the wind rustling the flag he'd hung outside his home, the same flag his father carried in the Marines. Marcus, then I guess part 2 starts now. The camera pans out, a man standing tall, unbroken, his daughter playing by the porch. The house gleams in the sunlight. And across the street, a black SUV idles quietly, watching. If that story moved you, hit like, comment, and share right now. And make sure to subscribe to the Untold Struggles for more true stories that reveal the power of truth and perseverance. Subscribe now at the Untold Struggles, because this story is just getting started.